All pulls it down. 3 blue jerseys are back. All into the teeth of the defense. Clark fading and hitting.
The Indiana Fever versus the Atlanta Dream was not just another regular season game. With bags of bad blood stacked up from their previous meetings this season, the girls had a lot to play for. With Caitlin Clark again being in the center of everything, she rose to the occasion alongside Sophie Cunningham and finally silenced Brittney Griner and the Atlanta Dream. But how did Clark and Cunningham turn all that bad blood into one of the most satisfying revenge games of the season? Let us find out. Before we get to the payback, we need to rewind to what really happened and where did all the tension begin. It all started with the May 22nd matchup that set everything in motion.
Ryan Howard, Caitlin Clark finding a way to miss. Excellent. Shifty getting into the paint. Sophie Cunningham, what a first game back we're seeing from her. The strip by Kelsey Mitchell. Here comes the Jets.
The Dream players were well aware of the danger that Clark posed in this game and first tried to match it game for game.
Caitlin, we know very well she likes to let it fly from the left. Pulls up, baseline, good to go.
But Caitlin Clark always had one more move up her sleeve.
Clark found a lane and she'll take it.
So the Dream players stopped playing fair and started trying everything to get on her nerves, from getting too handsy to dirty shoves. The Dream players were hell-bent on throwing Clark off, but it was not working as Caitlin kept her cool and allowed her game to do the talking for her.
It's how Caitlin Clark starts the initiative. Quickly, Sophie Cunningham.
It looked like things started getting back to normal from here on out, until Brittney Griner stepped onto the stage and all hell finally broke loose. The 34-year-old veteran came in like a storm, throwing her weight around and bringing a level of physicality that was hard to ignore. From hard screens that looked more like shoulder checks to questionable box outs that had Fever players stumbling, Griner's presence was anything but subtle.
Or if that was actually a foul, but again, that's Brittney's 5th.
After Brittney's 5th foul of the game, she was sent to the bench to serve a timeout, and that is where things got a little bit interesting. Nobody likes being sent out of the game, so understandably Griner was frustrated, but then in the moment of anger, she said what has been interpreted to be some racist slurs at Caitlin Clark.
Or the ticky-tack fouls that we were talking about earlier today.
Just a little lip reading, and it is obvious what she said was effing white girl, which showed the kind of temper that Griner has and how things can escalate very quickly from being a game of basketball to a full-blown grudge match for her. However, when asked about her comments on the bench, Griner denied swearing at Clark, claiming that she does not remember exactly what she said. But there is no place for hateful comments in the WNBA, and she would never say such.
During that viral moment after you fouled out against the Indiana Fever, a lot of people believe what you said was effing white girl or effing white girls. Is it possible that's what you said?
No, would never say that. Like, there's no place for that in our league. Wouldn't say that.
So even though you can't remember, you know that that was not what you said.
I know it wasn't that because I wouldn't use that type of language.
Things started to spiral out of control, with Ryan Howard also a major culprit in targeting Caitlin Clark.
There's a lot of bumping and chippiness at half court between Ryan Howard and Caitlin Clark.
With Caitlin mouthing the words, "I am not scared of you," to Ryan Howard. But all the gimmicks were not enough to stop the Fever, with the final score being 81-76. Surprisingly, the Fever ended the game with 4 more fouls despite all the contact the Atlanta Dream players were making, and that speaks a lot about the officiating, but that is a story for another day. After that game, the Fever and Dream met in the WNBA Commissioner's Cup, and that time, with Caitlin Clark still trying to nurse her injury, players like Alicia Gray stood up for the Atlanta Dream, dropping 23 points that helped the Dream to a 77-58 win over the Fever. So far, it looked like both teams were even with 1 win apiece since the deathmatch. But in their most recent game, Caitlin Clark and her Indiana Fever army, with one of the pickout stars being Sophie Cunningham, absolutely destroyed the Atlanta Dream. This was the 4th and final showdown between these two teams this season, and while there wasn't much at stake in the standings, pride was definitely on the line. The game started with a Caitlin Clark drive into the arc to set up Aaliyah Boston for the easy shot.
Are looking to get the taste out of their mouth from a difficult night against the Golden State Valkyries. Here's Caitlin Clark on the drive, sets up Boston, and she's got Indiana on the board.
And that set the tone for the Indiana Fever to go on. One of the most difficult passes to make in basketball is a bounce pass. It may come off as a simple move, but it needs to be just the right amount of bounce, else the receiver, especially if in motion like Ari McDonald was here, would be unable to continue the play.
Shift.
Here is Kelsey Mitchell, third All-Star appearance, is coming next week. Bounce pass McDonald, and a good find from Boston. So that's
Ryan Howard, who was one of the perpetrators of the ongoing war between the Fever and the Dream, started off this game on the right foot as well, knocking down threes and setting up the air to be competitive as always between these two teams.
WNBA under Carl Smesko, first-year head coach, has revolutionized this offense, and Ryan Howard can knock it down with the best of them.
Ryan Howard really kept it up like she had a personal grudge with the Fever. Apart from slamming in threes, she was very effective on the defense as well, with unbelievable blocks and steals.
This is her 9th game with the Fever.
Just the second playing with Caitlin Clark. Boston backdoor pass, Cunningham hauls it in and blocked from behind.
The Indiana Fever players were firing on all cylinders as well, with Kelsey Mitchell with the step-back triple.
Not worrying about the action.
A hot, cold season for the Fever defensively as Mitchell.
And that is when the Fever players started raining down fire and brimstone on the Atlanta Dream. Key players like Sophie Cunningham came alive and were sinking threes from literally anywhere on the court.
Boston with a shot clock down to 5. Cunningham tries to create and knocks down a 3.
Caitlin Clark was running rampant and going through Dream defenders almost like they were not even there. And when it looked like she was running out of court, she slid in the bounce pass back to Natasha Howard, who was on hand for the easy shot.
What a first quarter for Jordan Canada, who's got 10 points. As Clark bounces for Howard, flips it in with a foul.
That particular play ended up as the assist of the game. No surprise, there was nothing else close to that brilliance. Bounce passes are but one weapon in Caitlin Clark's endless arsenal of ways to destroy teams with her passing. This time, she feeds Kelsey Mitchell in a defense-splitting reverse pass.
Clark feed inside, Mitchell with the reverse.
What a pass!
Dropping crazy assists was not the only way Caitlin Clark played her basketball, and she showed it with this run down the left wing, and while it looked like she was not at 100% balance, she set herself up for the shot and landed the 3.
All pulls it down, 3 blue jerseys are back. All into the teeth of the defense, Clark fading and hitting.
By halftime, the Atlanta Dream led the game by 5 points, but Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham were just getting ready to play. Cunningham started the third quarter with a scintillating catch-and-shoot three-pointer.
15 minutes tonight, back on the bench for Indiana. Ari McDonald running points. Boston, here's Cunningham, buries a 3.
Sophie Cunningham was not showing any signs of slowing down, and she knocked home another 3. She was now a perfect 3 for 3 from the three-point line.
McDonald drops it, Cunningham, 3 for 3.
She's been due!
And when it looked like things could not get any better for the Fever, our superstar duos for the game, Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark, started to combine. It was almost like a psychic connection. They had entered a flow state and were absolutely destroying the Atlanta Dream. Like here, when Cunningham made her way to the rim, then circled right back out, leaving the handoff for Clark, who hustled her way back into the arc and made the layup.
There with McDonald in Canada. Cunningham circles around, handoff Clark. Clark muscles her way inside, shot clock down to 5, flips it up, gets it to go.
It really was a Caitlin Sophie show, and the Atlanta Dream had no answer for the dynamic duo. This time, Clark feeds Cunningham off the inbound, and before the Dream players could even blink, Sophie Cunningham had the ball rolling down the bucket.
She will be first before it's all said and done. Atlanta loses Cunningham, and just like that,
it was free-flowing basketball from the entire Indiana Fever team in the fourth quarter of the game, with Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark right at the engine of everything.
And every day they get a sneak peek.
Cunningham, kick out, Mitchell, exclamation points.
At that point, the Fever really looked like a well-oiled machine that could seriously challenge for the championship. They were completely unplayable, and Brittney Griner and the entire Atlanta Dream Team were just left moping at the excellence that was on display. The game ended 99-82 to the Fever, who had 4 players in double digits, a simple masterclass. They took the Atlanta Dream to school. This game, much like the first one, had the Atlanta Dream players try to get a little extra physical with the likes of Caitlin Clark, but she was having none of it and simply powered through every barricade that they put up. Like this moment when Brittney Griner and Jordan Canada teamed up to bump Cece off the ball, but Clark was firm, made her basket, and still won the foul. Peak stuff.
It's usually loud, but it's really loud tonight.
Clark, the hesitation, draws the foul, lays it in, and one, Caitlin Clark.
During the post-game media availability, Sophie Cunningham dropped her 2 cents on what she thinks of her team's offensive ability. And boy, she did not stutter.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. I think that our team has enough offensive threats that we should have 5 to 6 people in double figures every single night when we move the ball. When the ball is popping, we're a really hard team to guard.
If this game proved anything, it's that you don't poke the bear, and in this case, the bear wears number 22. Teams have thrown elbows, trash talk, and cheap shots at Caitlin Clark, hoping to rattle her. But every time, she answers the only way she knows how, with poise, fire, and buckets. Now, with the Indiana Fever finally finding their stride, one thing's clear: they're not an easy target anymore.